Hello, welcome to a new vlog, and it's been a while. I know, been a good few weeks, 3, possibly 4. I don't even know if I'll put this vlog out. You know, it's the day it's made. Why? Well, I damaged. If you follow the channel, you know I damaged my knee. It feels like I did come out last week, and it just didn't feel right. So I did a little bit of shooting in one of my little secret woods. But it didn't feel right, and I came home and decided to scrap that vlog. So I was willing, I just couldn't trust not falling over. This week I feel a lot better. The knee definitely much improved, and of course to try and make use of being able to walk properly again, I've come to Padley Gorge, and I have a second reason for coming. I've brought the actual Padley with me. Now bear with me, I'm going to have to swing this up there a little bit. There she is. This is my Padley. She's 4 next year, and of course when I saw her I thought she was the most beautiful thing I'd seen since the arrival of my kids. I've got to say that because I know they sometimes watch the videos. Oh wow, this is getting tricky to put back. And I named her after Padley Gorge, so she's named Padley, which is kind of weird, but she's fab, she's lovely, she's annoying. And I thought I'll bring her along here and try and get a couple of shots of her in this beautiful woodland. So there you go, that's my rambling introduction. This will not be a long vlog unless I just keep talking, of course. I've come to one spot in Padley Gorge. This is all I'm going to show you today. I am doing a bit of a circuit, but the idea is just to walk the dog, relax, get my knee moving, and enjoy the experience of being out, you know, after nearly a month. So I thought what I'll do, I'll just drop down to this easy bit to get to and shoot the Cascades, and we'll do maybe 3 or 4 shots here. I've got a bunch of things to show off. I'm shooting on the Pocket 3, by the way. There's so many vloggers that watch me now. Shooting on the Pocket 3, it's an absolute go-to. But I also have currently with me the Ace 2 Pro, so I'm going to get a bit of video footage with that. I've got the GoPro Ultra 360, whatever the thing you call it. I've got my Action 5, which, to be honest, is my preferred camera for wet days. I've got the Neo 2 in the car. I've got the Mini 5 Pro in the car. I've spent too much on gear recently. But none of that matters compared with my new lens, which is an old lens. It's a second-hand lens. I replaced the damaged 70-200 with a 70-200, but this is a 2.8. I've stepped up from the f4. It's the heaviest lens I've ever owned, even with the, you know, the big massive bastard. This is just seems very chunky. But anyway, let's do the photography. I'm going to show you some video footage of the Cascades. Not really waterfalls, they're not high, they're Cascades. And there's some great features. You've got fallen logs, you've got sort of bifurcation of the water, so you can do some wide angle stuff. Now I'm sorry if this is on a bit of an angle, I'll try and straighten it up post-processing, but hopefully you can see the scene. You know what, let's not be lazy, let's bring this forward through it. So you can see the scene. Cascade here looks great, works its way up, then there's the fallen log across. There's a lovely tree across there next to the Cascade, but to shoot that I think I'd need to be on the other side, and that is not good knee territory, so that can't happen today, which is a shame. There is a little bit of fog in the air. Coming through the road tube is very deep, but over here not so much. There is a bit more spilling this way, so maybe we'll get some, you know, we might get a bit more atmosphere. Plenty of photographers around me. I've already met, I must say hello to Clayton, and I've remembered his name now. How wonderful it is to meet people again that I've met previously who watch the videos. And Clayton's a Huddersfield chap, and he's such a nice fella. It was great to speak to him, and so hope you had a great morning this morning, Clayton. Back to water shots. Got a nice one here at the side. We do have the problem of this being in the way, but if I move across a little bit, just mindful I don't fall in, that's going to be fine. And then what else have we got? Maybe dropping down a bit lower and shooting up. just to give a sort of sense of, what would you call it, grandeur, not scale, grandeur. Because another interesting thing, which you've probably noticed already, keen-eyed observers as you are, we've got a lot of colour. Autumn sadly left us, which is horrible, but we've still got colour here. Padley Gorge just delivers, doesn't it? So we've got all these russets, is that what you call it, sort of reddish brown leaves. We've got the green, never leaves Padley Gorge, this moss on the rocks never goes away. We've got some very deep, I want to say sort of brown red, but like veering more towards the red from fallen leaves. That won't stand out as much, but it still adds lustre to the back of the image. And then we've got some photographers who I'm going to Photoshop into oblivion. Let's start with this one. What I would say is probably the easiest shot. It's going to look good no matter how I take it. I do have the 7200 on, not required for this shot. I would maybe shoot it with my 50mm prime, or just the workhorse 24-105 would do perfectly fine. But the bottom line is, I think I've got enough in the lens to capture the image I want. I'll just swing it round, so I'm in a bit closer. I'll put the video up from the camera, and then you can really see what I'm going to be shooting. But essentially, cascades, well, that's a no-brainer, yeah. Then the fallen log looks lovely, and I'm going to want that pretty much as you see it, 2/3 up into the shot. And then we've got, I want to make sure I get a little bit of that colour of the leaves in the background, and maybe even that attractive shapely tree as well. We'll see. If you see me look back every now and then, it's because I'm just checking what Padley's up to. She's staring at me. If she doesn't get a snack like every few minutes, she gets arsey with me. What are we on here? ISO 100, of course. Illegal in this part of the world to shoot above ISO 100. Not many people are aware of that. I'm at f8. I don't really want to blur anything out in the background. I want it all. And there is a little bit of, I say, tiny bit of fog, just softening things up a little bit. So we'll see how that works out. Is enough light, plenty of light to allow me to do this. But I have the option of opening the aperture up if I want to get a bit more in. 1/5, looking at 1/5 of a second to get the silkiness. It's going to be long exposures. I am on the tripod. It would be wrong not to for this. I'm going to take a few shots with a higher shutter speed. I often do this, especially with peak water, because it's discoloured. And if you can just catch it right, you can catch all the lovely lines in it. You watch my old videos, I drone on about this too much. I just noticed that I'm not quite catching the bottom cascade in full, and that distresses me a little bit. That might mean I have to drop to 50mm. Let's see. I'm not convinced. Not convinced. I feel like the log is too high in the image, in the frame, and I'm still not getting all of the cascade. So I may have misread that a bit. There's a lot more going. If I went portrait, that might work actually. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, so technically that shot worked, the portrait. So it came out as I anticipated. So on the technical side, fine. Aesthetically, compositionally, nah, not for me. It wasn't the shot I wanted. And so I'm not going to settle. I'm going to go to the effort, massive ball ache as it is, and get the 50mm out. The reason I'm going for 50mm is because it's prime and it's got that nice aperture. My 24-105, of course, would be more than sufficient to play around with these compositions. You know, would not get, because it'll only get down to about 5.8. It will not give me the options to play with the aperture that the 50mm prime will. So that's the logic. Okay, stinky little 50mm prime on, and as I was setting this up, it's easily distracted I immediately saw another shot I want to take. I was just about to sort of sweep the scene up to take it all in, and instead I saw how the very bottom cascade has boiling water coming either side of it, framed by two large chunky rocks, which is normally quite horrible, but I think there's so much going on around these rocks that it looks good. Because I'm on the 50mm prime, I'm able to take it to f.2.8. Am I on? No, I'm actually down at f2. Right now at f2-ish. You know, I'll check that. Yeah, I am. I'm on f2. So that means that all of this boiling water, this front, is in like sharp focus, but it's not static because there's so much energy there, and then all the back just kind of fades away, blurs away, and I think this is going to be, I think it just gives me an interesting shot, not anything to write home about a spot. Yeah, this is going to be the tricky bit. How long do I leave the exposure? Because if I obviously don't want it super silky, else I'll lose all the boiling water and it just becomes ice cream. Instead, I want to capture its motion, capture the energy, but still make it look attractive. Just let me make sure it's balanced. Want to get a little bit of this front bit in, perhaps a little, just a tad more. Let's get right down there. Really do it now. Do you know, I might need an ND filter on this. I don't know if this shot's worth it to go to all this trouble, but if you see something, you'd be foolish not to try it. I'm going to need a filter. Wow, I haven't used an ND filter for a while, but there you go. So the next shot is going to be a wider shot. The 50 cannot do this. You're going to have to go to the 24-105, the workhorse lens, and will not have that aperture to play with, but it's lightened up a little bit, so it does give me some play. And this is to capture, right now I want a 16:9 essentially. Unfortunately, I'm almost certainly going to run into the leaves on the right, which could be an issue. I could stack them, but it would feel contrived, I think. So I'm basically going to letterbox this, but I still need to get lower than 50mm because I need a bit of height, and obviously I need a bit of depth to take in all the cascade. So another lens switch. Okay, just a couple of tips, common sense tips. Check your lenses before and after you do the shoot. Condensation, water splash. If you're going to change your lens, make sure that water can't get into your sensor. You're right by cascades and heavily splashing water. Those particles are coming my way straight from there to the camera. So the Canon's good. This one, it has a little shutter thing that comes down, but even then I don't risk it. I turn the camera off, take the lens off, and I've got my hand over the sensor to switch my lens out. It just means you're going to get a better day's photography. Okay, so switching to the 24-105 from the restrictions of the 50mm and the 70 to 200, wide open now. I've got a really big picture, completely different composition. There's more space, there's more light, there's more action. I think with the 50 and the 70 you get a bit more intimate. This big picture, okay, and you can see from the video how lovely it is. Amazing colors, you know. Autumn's gone and here we are. So biggest challenge is to not let this bit, all that foam, overwhelm the image. So tricky, down to exposure time, I think. What the idea is to try and make your eye go right through the image and not just go, oh, look at all that big clump of foam. Okay, that's what we're going for. f4 ISO 100. I think I'm going to speed that exposure up a little bit. I think too silky will kill this image. So we're really sort of moving the dial the other way today on long exposures. They're getting shorter and shorter, but hopefully this will work and you'll like the image. I think it looks lovely right now. We'll see. So I'm going to do a final image now. It doesn't mean it'll be the last shot I take, but probably the last one on camera. We're lifting the camera now. We're cutting out this bottom cascade to a certain degree. We see the top of it, and instead we're using the bottom of the big rock in the middle to sort of center the framing. So no further past it. It's right in the middle. I've reached in a little bit to try and avoid the leaves, so they're no longer an issue, and instead I've captured this area here. There's a few people walking their dog over there, so I'm going to wait for them to knob off. Unless the dog goes in the water, then I'm going to take a picture of it. Yeah, dog's in the water. Oh bless. And then all that mist and fog at the back looks fantastic. So absolutely blessed. I think this is going to look like an autumnal shot. Actually, it's going to be very nice. So I just got to wait for these people to move, and we'll wrap it here. Listen, thanks for coming along. Like, share, subscribe, the usual stuff. I hope I'll see Craig this week, but I may not. Messaged him. We're going to get a lot of rain tomorrow, and that was going to be the final day before Christmas that we could meet. And that's very sad. So I want to send out my brotherly love to Craig. Say hello again to Clayton. Hello to all you ladies and gents who've been following from years gone by and this year, of course. Thanks so much. Hopefully I can do something more before the new year, but if not, I'll do a wrap-up video and that kind of thing. Members, look out, there's going to be some bits put on there on the members channel, and I feel like I'm back up and about now. Knee seems so much better, and I feel good in myself, so that's great. These health worries, these health knocks started to get a bit too frequent for my liking, but I'll just keep pressing on. All right, anyway, enough rabbit. Gonna do some photography. See you for the next one.
I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river and it made me complete. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting tired and I need someone to rely on. I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Oh, simple